So this is why I moved off the grid. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Mehdi, the channel's name is Mehdi Tate, and today we'll be talking about the benefits and the disadvantages of moving off-grid. Now, before we do, make sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment, because I really love reading your guys' comments and seeing different opinions on some of my topics. Now, let's get into it. Yes, I am basically off the grid. I'm in this cabin in the north of Sweden, and it's really tough. It's very tough to live up here with no one your age and very little socializing going on, and it's not really some place that I would recommend to my younger self, just because I'm balanced between an extrovert and an introvert. So I would like to go talk to people outside, and then also I'm okay with staying inside, but I also need that to recharge. But anyway, here are some of the benefits that I've seen. I'm way more focused when it comes to work, when it comes to my goals. I'm just like, it's just tunnel vision, and I know that within 2 months I can get work done that someone else would spend like 3 months. I just have way more like motivation as well when it comes to reaching my goals, just because I don't think I have anything else to do but to go out in nature and meditate or just sit there with my thoughts. And I feel like you can only do so much of that until your mind just tells you, okay, it's time to put in some action. And I've seen such immense growth in my business in a really short amount of time, as opposed to if I probably was living in the city. And I feel like a month up here is the equivalent of 2-3 months outside. It's just there's such quality to this time that you have up here, and surrounded by trees, surrounded by nature. It's just for me, it's just the cherry on top. Another benefit that I've seen is discipline. I became more disciplined, but before I got disciplined, I was actually in this mess because I was trying to make sense of the silence up here and the not being around friends or not going to fast food joints, because obviously here we only have like one restaurant. No, there's two restaurants up here, and I only go to one of them. That's it. And we only have like one grocery store, and there's one gym up here. Other than that, everything's far away, and you'll need a car to basically get to the closest city, which is about an hour away. So it also is very limited when it comes to that. But once you have a limited amount of choices, I feel it's much better. It just adds more ease to your life. And I kind of connected it with, when you see the big time CEOs having one type of shirt and one type of jeans and one pair of shoes that they wear every day, and it's like the same thing throughout their whole closet. The less choices you have, I feel, the more likely you're going to have a better approach when it comes to solving problems. I think that's just one less problem to solve, to be honest, and one less problem to solve is always better than one more problem to solve. Another benefit that I've actually felt up here is the lack of noise. The lack of noise and just being able to know yourself and to learn more about yourself is huge. You get to know yourself. You get to have this connection with your inner self and learn about your strengths, and that is just something I really didn't see coming. I wasn't really always in touch with myself. I didn't know what were my weaknesses or my strengths. I didn't know how to improve each. But with this, you get like this magnifying glass on every little weakness, every strength you have, and you can work around your weaknesses, and you can actually work on bettering or even strengthening your good qualities as a person. And it just, for me, it's big. Now, here are the negatives. It gets lonely. It gets freaking lonely. Your people your age aren't around. Sometimes it's just you and your thoughts and the nature that surrounds you, and the woods, the animals, it gets pretty lonely. And I feel like human beings are social beings, and if you are deprived of that or sort of isolated from that for too long, it can get to you, unless you can actually know how to handle it, and you can find ways around that. but that's a big one. So another negative thing is that I have a lack of options when it comes to food. I'm a big foodie. I love my food, and there's no Mexican restaurants up here. There's no Indian restaurants. There's no Italian restaurants. There's no Chinese restaurants. It's basically like very, very limited. And sometimes you just want to spoil yourself. Sometimes you want one day a month where you can just go and eat something amazing. And that's very tough sometimes. And one thing that I've been struggling with as well is sports. I'm a big active person. I love to play sports, soccer, basketball, but I just don't have anyone to play that with up here. And there's no basketball court up here. There's probably one indoor basketball court, but no one's ever playing. There's no one playing there, so it's quite tough to just, sometimes I want to go and play with a team or play 3-on-3s, but I just can't. So that's a big negative aspect of living up here. Now, if you're considering moving off grid, I'd really look into why you would do that. Just because sometimes it's not really the best move for some people. For others, it's actually more beneficial than negative. But for me, I needed it. That's why I did it. For others, might not be the case, because I could at any time just leave. I do know that, but I choose to stay because it's the benefits I'm seeing after being here for a year and a half at this point. I'm seeing differences that I really don't want to change. I don't want to change these qualities that I've gained from living off grid. And from that, I'm going to probably stick around for maybe another 2 years and see where that takes me. So if you want to move off grid and you have a remote business, for example, I feel like that's the best option for you, just because you will be able to focus more on what needs more focus and focus less on what doesn't. So with that remote business, all you're going to be doing most of the days is actually working on the business, then going out for a walk, going out around nature. And that in itself is very, very beneficial, because it's just like you're growing at all fronts. There's no way you can actually stagnate your growth. And that's why I'm actually doing it. And I've seen a really, really amazing growth to my business. And even if you want to move off grid for some peace of mind, I think it's your best option. It's your best option at that point. And it's, if you want to heal any traumas you're going through, or if you want to heal yourself, heal anything that you're going through, that is probably the best option. But just know that it will get lonely, it'll get tough, but after that, it's just the sky's the limit. And on that note, have an amazing day, have an amazing week, and I'll see you next week. And I'll end the video right here.